All right, so this is another viewer requested video, and let's get into it. So, parking and drivability of the F250 or F350, which, single rear wheel 350 is the same size as the F250. So I just want to get that, a lot of people, oh, it's bigger. No, it's not bigger. It may set up just a little bit taller, but also that also depends on, if you have the heavy spring package, your snowplow, that you get a little bit taller ride just because the springs are a little bit taller. Talking about the front springs. So that's something else you got to consider, I guess. I just thought I'd mention it. Okay, trying to breathe. Okay. So, backing in parking spaces, even in a half ton, it's really, it's so much easier to do, and that's really what I would recommend. But also, if you're going into like a narrow parking area and there's a lot of cars, you might be able to get in, but if you try to back out and let's say you're there for an hour and then there's everybody parked, all around you and behind you, you might get stuck. So I would recommend not parking in the area like that if you know that you might not be able to get out, because that is something you really got to consider, because you might be stuck. Going through, in drive-throughs, there's certain drive-throughs I just won't go to, just because I don't feel comfortable enough to do it. And I don't consider that a deal breaker. I'll just walk inside, or I'll go somewhere else, So, like narrow car wash drive-through areas, I won't do it. Like, I'll get, someone else to drive it through there. I'm like, hey, there's just certain places that really just, I won't do it, And that is something, I don't think it's a deal breaker. So, and like I said, having that 360 camera package, that is a must. For me, it is, because I'm not very good at judging if I'm really close to something. Like I said, when I'm trying to park, or, when I'm driving, that's a little bit different story. But, like if I don't know how close, I can't judge how close I am to the curb, you know what I'm saying? So just because, yeah. And, obviously if you have parking restrictions, like let's say your neighborhood you live in has like certain, you can't park in the front yard, or you have to park in the driveway. If you live in an area with a narrow alleyway, that's something you might, if it's narrow, you're not going to be able to get in, because it's just the turning radius, the length, so that's something, maybe move. I mean, you shouldn't have to move, you shouldn't have to have those rules, but that is something that might prevent you from wanting an F250. I really think that's it, that I can think of. Also, one last thing, don't ever, when you're driving, you're parking, or you're, don't get in a hurry, because that's what my dad always taught me about driving heavy-duty trucks. He drove them for, 20 years just because he liked them. He just liked me, So he's like, don't get in a hurry, because that's how you can, hit a curb, run over, mess up. Just take your time, stay calm. And, you're driving a heavy-duty truck. Enjoy it, So don't be scared to drive it. Yeah.